Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I'm Brother Lance Shabazz, and I wanted to add a few comments on the passing of Brother Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, some see him as just the greatest of all time, as a boxer, as a humanitarian. I saw him as a Muslim, and that's how I like to remember him, as a Muslim.
We're not seeking to lose our identity in blood mixing and our beautiful black African history. We don't hate you. We don't hate those of you who are white. We just want to stay black. We love my color. I just love myself.
And brothers and sisters, I got the news. I was at work and picked up the paper on my way in. And I kept quiet. I listened to all this. Seems to be non-stop Muhammad Ali on the radio, on the television. And as I said, let me be quiet. I didn't want to say anything that's derogatory or negative that I hear on the radio. So I said I'm going to keep quiet, but I did want to add just a few moments speaking about Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. I first saw Muhammad Ali as a little child at a Muslim bazaar, and he was talking some smack, and I just immediately gravitated toward him. And Muhammad Ali, I always said I live vicariously through Muhammad Ali, as I named one of my sons Muhammad Ali. My first wife, I named her after Muhammad Ali's wife, who was a Muslim wife. First Belinda, and later as Khalila. I named my wife Khalila, and just lived vicariously through Muhammad Ali. As all of the things I would talk smack like Muhammad Ali, his whole life. If you look at it, I used to tell many brothers when we would talk about Muhammad Ali that every day of his life could be a featured movie. He constantly was on. You hear boxers today, well, Floyd Mayweather is so-called retired, but he fought basically in Las Vegas. He didn't go too far out. Muhammad Ali traveled everywhere. It wasn't just to Zaire. It wasn't to Malaysia. It wasn't to the Philippines. He fought in Puerto Rico. He fought in Germany. He fought in London. He fought everywhere. Muhammad Ali was a true world champion. He didn't matter where he went. He fought everybody and didn't duck anybody. You know, you look at his record, even though his professional record shows 56-5, he lost 3 of his last 4 fights, which you can really throw those fights out because he was really washed up bad, hadn't taken care of himself. And whether they call it Parkinson's or whatever the disease that took his skills, I want to remember him as the great Muhammad Ali that I saw as a little boy, a man who talked so much smack. But I got to teach, not many of individuals can say it, but I got to hear Muhammad Ali teach as a minister, as a little boy. I grew up a Muslim, follower of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And for the record, I've interviewed Muhammad Ali, I've interviewed his brother Rahman, I've interviewed his former wife, interviewed his son, I have interviewed his trainers, his sparring partners. And history, they want the sexy story. They want to say that Malcolm X brought him into Islam, but Malcolm X didn't bring him into Islam, but that's the sexy story. We know that it was a Minister Jesse. We know that there was a Captain Sam. We know the history of Muhammad Ali. We know that history. We could tell you the whole history of Muhammad Ali, but you could read the Bible. He was born January 17th of 1942. You could say he lived on Grand Street or Grand Avenue in Louisville, Kentucky. You could tell his whole history. His brother was born July, I believe, 18th of the following year, 1943. Odessa Clay, Cassius Clay Sr. The whole history, we can go through that, but that you can read. I want to tell you my personal opinion and my history with Muhammad Ali, or just personal stories that I like about Brother Muhammad Ali. He was a brave, courageous man. The Nation of Islam, when I got to see Muhammad Ali, I saw him at the Brooklyn Temple, which was at the time on Madison Avenue. Muhammad Ali, as a little boy, we took the flyers, and I used to scotch tape them to my father's vehicle with the picture of Muhammad Ali that he would be speaking at the mosque. And I just loved Muhammad Ali. I took a picture of him in 1968 as a 10-year-old boy at one of the Muslim bazaars. And as I said, I just loved Muhammad Ali. I loved him. And bright, intelligent, handsome, tall, everything that you could think of, that was Muhammad Ali.
Silent imagination. I can imagine all those tick seats being filled. I can imagine how am I going to fill these seats? Me being a black man in white America, boasting, I'm pretty, that nigga needs a whooping. That cocky thing, he talks too damn much. Give me 20 tickets. Give me ringside tickets. I want to be there. Some of y'all remember them days, don't you? Before y'all found out I was acting. Y'all can think back. Can't y'all remember those days? Before you got to know me like today, when y'all used to say, he's too damn cocky. All this shit, he's the greatest, he's pretty. Give me ringside seats. I want to see his teeth when they fall out. And I'm jumping around. I'm trying to keep him laughing. They be, my son. And I look and I say, you paid $200 for this? No regular, no down-earth moment nicer to me. But I had to make my money. And I was in a business where the promoters are dominantly Jewish. And they know how to count dollars, and they will book anybody that can fill the seats. So I had to talk, because other fighters didn't talk. They couldn't write no poems. They couldn't do no shuffles. They couldn't do no rope-a-dopes. They couldn't dance. They couldn't do nothing but just... He's dancing all that pretty stuff. Look how you like that little clown, babe. The white folks always like to see colorful chef. I had it made. I had it made. The world thought I was crazy. They say, he's silly. See, they have an old saying, a wise man can act a fool, but a fool cannot act wise. See, I was acting. I was a genius. But now I'm letting you know it's just act. I'm a real nice fellow. I wasn't conceited, I was just convinced. He just caught it up.
And what made me love him more was because he was a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I know as time goes on, they're going to kick the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to the side and try to rewrite the history as they've done with Malcolm and others. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad played an integral part not only in Muhammad Ali's life, but in his brother Rahman's life. You can't erase that history. His decision to stand up and fight, not to go into the war military. Muhammad Ali in April the 28th in 1967, the same day when they interviewed the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in his home, he said, Muhammad Ali knows my history, you know, and his stands on war. He said that he would rather face machine gun fire than to denounce the religion of Islam, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said he was ready to die. This man received his name from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Don't say that he just changed his name. No, who gave him that name was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And again, I just want to give a few moments speaking on Brother Muhammad Ali, and I could pull up all these clips. But you all know this. You know all of these things, that Muhammad Ali, the messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, March 6th broadcast, 1964, which I've given to others out there, that it was Muhammad Ali, that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad asked if Muhammad Ali would take the name, and he said as long as he followed him, he would have that name.
Elijah Muhammad was there. I never known the messenger. I've never met a much holier, sweeter man than Messenger Muhammad. I love my father. Daddy was not the man that Elijah Muhammad was. Elijah had a whole lot of weight on his shoulders, a whole nation of people. He was very humble and meek and sweet. He said, when I met with him, he said, brother, he said, you understand your mom? I said, brother. I said, yes, the old apostle. He said, you look just like him. He's just so sweet when he talks like a little baby. He said, brother, he says, I love my people. They're blind. Allah God sent me to teach my people, but I'm going to carry on until I die. I won't give up. He said, but one day we all will be free. He says, and then he says, then too much later, he named me Rahman. I said, Allahu Akbar.
I'll leave certain things out because this is a day we want to celebrate Muhammad Ali, but I can go into personal stories and inside and take you inside some of these things, and maybe one day I'll do Muhammad Ali, the real story, you know, and give you that information. But today I wanted to just say that he'll be tremendously missed, to all of his children, to his wives, his all of them. I know that it's a sense of loss, and I know that you're all upset, and I know, but he is free. He was trembling and shaking, and really I know that you were just glad to have him among you. But for those of us who loved Muhammad Ali, not as his biological family, but as his family also, as again, I vicariously lived through Muhammad Ali, all of that history, his children, his family, I kind of lived that life vicariously, and all, whether it was Khalil or whether it was Veronica, whatever it was, I walked that path, brothers and sisters, vicariously. And I want you to know that I loved Muhammad Ali. I say that we're going to miss brother Muhammad Ali, but I have thousands of hours of, whether it's audio or footage, every day, and you can download many of this stuff that's on the social media, whether it's off of Facebook, whether it's off of YouTube. Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. I thank Almighty God, Allah, that I've been alive during the time of brother Muhammad Ali. And this is a special time in history, brothers and sisters. We have lived during the time of Muhammad Ali, and again, not only have we lived during the time of Muhammad Ali, but I was blessed to live during the time of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Though Malcolm was assassinated when I was a little boy, I was around. There was just Martin Luther King, some of the history. This was a great time to live in this society. And I thank Almighty God, Allah, for keeping me alive so that I could witness Muhammad Ali coming into the Nation of Islam, coming into and becoming a Muslim and a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You want to talk about his fights? We could talk about his fights. George Foreman, Joe Frazier. We could talk about Ken Norton, Jimmy Young, Ron Lyle. We could talk about all of the fights. Ernie Schaefer's. Just go back and forth for Leon Spinks. We could talk about his sparring sessions. I was blessed to go up to Deer Lake, Pennsylvania. I was blessed to be around Muhammad Ali. I worked security for him once. I just so many things that I could just tell you about Muhammad Ali. Such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful brother. Again, I send condolences to the family. But I say this again, that Muhammad Ali, he said he once wanted to meet every person on this earth, and he sure enough tried, brothers and sisters. Muhammad Ali traveled this world. They knew his name in Indonesia. They knew his name in Pakistan. They knew his name in Mecca. They knew his name wherever he went. You could say Muhammad Ali, and people would just light up. That was a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he prepared him for that, brothers and sisters, whether you like it or not, just as he prepared Malcolm X. And you see that Louis Farrakhan and others, you have to look at what Muhammad Ali and what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the light that was really behind the veil, the Honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, I'm Brother Lance Shabazz, and I'm going to sign off now, but I wanted to say a few things about my brother Muhammad Ali. May Allah bless him. May peace and blessings of Allah forever be. And one more thing I wanted to say that made me so proud. After the assassination of Malcolm X, as you know, he was assassinated February the 21st, 1965, there was telephone calls going into looking for Muhammad Ali, and their reporters had called his home and told that there's a carload of assassins coming to assassinate him. And the response that Muhammad Ali told this reporter, I'll probably pull that clip up. But brothers and sisters, just a beautiful, beautiful brother. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Brother Lance Shabazz. I am the author of the book, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, The Nation of Islam and Me. This was my contribution to my lifelong history in the Nation of Islam and how it affected me. The fall of the Nation of Islam. Muhammad Ali is featured in there. Joe Tex is featured in there. Some of the ministers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad are featured in there. Some of his helpers, his aides, are featured in the book. But it's my experience, and I put it down in book. It's called Blood, Sweat, and Tears, The Nation of Islam and Me. You can get the book on Amazon.com, Lulu.com. You can get it through Kindle, download it. But I say that you should add it to your collection. There's also some stories on Muhammad Ali. I am Brother Lance Shabazz. Again, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I just wanted to make a contribution on the passing of the great Brother Muhammad Ali. Peace, power, love, solidarity, and unity. Assalamu alaikum.